Tom Thibodeau is a complete embarrassment to every human being on the planet. Every human being on the planet. Jalen Brunson's coming out to hedge here. Hey, Tom, retard, you need backside help. OG Anunoby has to step up and backside help on Neesmith's role. You cannot allow this pass to get made. Who allows this? Nobody's to look at it. Where's your backside help? Look at Anunoby. Unreal. These Knicks fans. You see middle school teams better coached than the Knicks. It's a complete embarrassment. And James Dolan, he's an idiot for allowing this. Karl Anthony Towns, could you stay with Pascal Siakam? It's a baseline out of bounds. Where are you going, Cat? Where are you going?
Shout out and salute to my man, Awful Coaching. That was a small sample size of exactly why we're here. And now, fam, New York Knicks, they are not effing around. Facts. Listen, man, firing a coach who got you to the playoffs 4 out of 5 seasons, a coach who brought you back-to-back 50-win seasons, a coach who led your team to a level of prominence they haven't seen in 25 to 30 years. This sends a clear message, man. The message from management and ownership is simple. We want to win a championship. Period. And when I heard this news, fam, one name popped into my head immediately. Mark Jackson. This is the man who built the foundation for the Golden State Warriors dynasty with Steph, Clay, and Draymond. And let's not forget, he's a city kid. Who's more New York than Mark Jackson, fam? Finally, Tom Thibodeau, coach who brought us back-to-back 50-win seasons and playoff success, proves they mean business. But here's the thing, its move is bittersweet. Tib delivered results, but sometimes even success isn't enough, man. Now, the Knicks are at a crossroads. Who they hire next can make or break this team's future. And I'm telling you, Mark Jackson is the only choice that makes sense. In today's video, I'm breaking down why Tom Thibodeau was let go and why Mark Jackson is the perfect fit to take this team to the next level. And if you're a diehard Knicks fan, diehard Knicks maniac like myself, I need to hear from you in the comments, dog. Am I tripping or is Mark Jackson the guy? Who do you think should be the next head coach? Alright, first, let's talk about Tom Thibodeau. Basketball junkie. Sensei, master conceptually. Master of conceptions. Film rat. These are, traits that you absolutely love about a head coach. And he gets results, right? Make no mistake about it. His resume, it speaks for itself. However, the same resume can be a gift or it could be a curse, depending on how you look at it. We've seen Derrick Rose's body break down under tips. We've seen him run his horses to no end with no gas left at the end of the race. There seems to be a ceiling on Tom Thibodeau's success. He's stubborn, he's not willing to change, and he's stuck in his ways. He's 67. Everywhere Thibodeau has been as a head coach, it's the same story. They get to a certain level, then the playoff success is had. And the players always look gassed, or it's something centered around that. And let's be honest, right? During this past regular season, the Knicks couldn't beat the top teams consistently. They were the only team, they were number 3 in the East, but you notice they couldn't get past the top teams, the playoff teams. They was getting their asses kicked. Some of the coverages, lineups, and adjustments were crazy. What happened to Precious Achiuwa? He played extremely well during the season when Brunson was out and at the start of the season when Mitchell Robinson was injured. You couldn't find him major minutes against Indiana to offset Obi Toppin, who was a bench player. How many turnovers did Jalen Brunson commit against the full court pressure, the full court pressure of Indiana? Damn it, right? If I was the coach, I would have chewed his ass out and had Cat bring up the ball. And let's see if Miles Turner is going to pick up full court pressure, right? Cat, another one. He's aloof with picking up quick, silly fouls. It hurts the team. You know how a good coach fixes the problem? You call Cat in the office and say, Cat, you're one of the greatest bigs that ever played a game. You're unstoppable. But I can't play you the whole game because you get these dumbass fouls early and you don't play with force or defense. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start you in the second quarter or maybe the second half from now on. And you stand on that shit. And I promise you, you know what would happen? You would see an entirely different player. If Cat is the player and has the pride, I think he had Dominican pride, the embarrassment alone would have made Cat put in more effort. Right? Even when guys are running plays on the Knicks, a high school player could defend these dudes, man. When Knicks players are standing in the corner, hands on shorts, bent over, looking disinterested, what is their signal to a defender? Ding, 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 ding. Nah, this dude ain't getting the ball. So at that point, what can the defender do? He can cheat for the double team, get in position for a steal, get in position for a rebound. Offense has been predictable all season. Guys have to sell the play every time, every position. That's how plays become effective. Because now the defense, they got to gamble or they not sure. They don't know what to do. That's coaching. That's scheme. How many times have I seen Cat looking around like a zombie, watching Jalen Brunson? Just watching on the James Harden shit. Anybody with a brain knows you have to feed the big man to keep him motivated. You keep him active, to keep him engaged. You have to let him touch the rock. Indiana had no answer for Cat. We saw that. His own team neutralized their greatest weapon. You know what I'm saying? He's standing around, he's not getting on the ball. Is he gonna be motivated to play defense? No. Right? Knicks brass can see the same thing. It's not hard, fam. Into the building, Mark Jackson. Born and bred in New York City. He understands the heartbeat of New York. He starred in high school at Bishop Lockwood, right? Which was a power at one time in the basketball scene in New York. He starred in college at St. John's University, Queens, New York. The man starred in the NBA for his hometown team that drafted him in the New York Knicks. Fam, what are we talking about? One Rookie of the Year. Huh? Mark Jackson was a great point guard with exceptional vision, a table setter. He could read the room. He knew how to get his teammates going. As a non-athletic point guard, he was the 90s version of Chris Paul. He would take guards in the post and put that big butt on them and go to work. You know, it's something about these point guards who played in the league at a high level. They are what I like to call connectors. They play. They can relate to the players differently. I promise you, Chris Paul is going to make an excellent coach if he decides to do that after his playing days. These dudes can read the room. Look at what Mark Jackson did for Steph and Clay, right? I believe Steve Kerr was excellent for that team, but we're now getting to see his coaching chops, right? I believe if they had allowed Mark Jackson to continue coaching that team that he started with, that he built, he would have had the same success, if not more. Period. Right? He was whiteboard because he didn't support homosexuality as a Christian man. What a shock, right? He was whiteboard because he got weak in the flesh and wanted to freak off with a stripper, even though he was a pastor with a wife. At the end of the day, he's a human man, okay? Maybe wifey was too comfortable after years of marriage and wasn't doing what she used to do in the beginning. You married dudes understand exactly what I'm talking about, right? All in all, it has nothing to do with his ability to connect with players and coach a championship-ready squad, right? Mark is great in the media. He has the cachet to hold players accountable, but also to nurture and grow, right? Tibbs doesn't have that. Mark is younger, more vibrant, and connected. On top of that, he's a point guard who can relate to a point guard in Jalen Brunson. He is a point guard who used to feed Patrick Ewing no-look passes, fam. He knows how to run a team on the court. There's no one more qualified that deserves 3-year shot to coach the New York Knicks. Not just for the team, but for the city. A hometown kid who has bled New York all his life comes home to coach the team that drafted him. The storyline alone is amazing, man. Jalen Brunson, he should be loyal to Tibbs. He was a bench player who Tibbs believed in, right? Josh Hart should be loyal to Tibbs. He was a journeyman Tibbs believed in. OG should be loyal to Tibbs. He was a role player who's on the brink of becoming a superstar. This is Cat's second stint with Tibbs. Good, not great. It's time for a new voice, right? New direction with a man who was born with the city engraved in his veins, bruh. One of the prodigal sons in Mark Jackson. Full letter, fam. Full letter. Back to me. Alright, y'all know the drill by now. I need your thoughts and feelings on this. And we need to get to this Knicks. We need to get this to the Knicks. ASAP Rocky, if you feel like I do. Get in the comments and go ham. Our voices need to be heard. On your way out, if you enjoyed the content, let me know, fam. Tap the like. And if you really love the vibes, subscribe and be part of La Familia. And be first to get this work when it drops. Till the next video, keep it real with yourself first. Be safe and God bless.